Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to my latest video. As you can tell by the video title, it's going to be a sort of a review of the TNA Immortal Forever DVD. Put that a bit closer. Bit of a glare coming through the window. I apologise for that. Yeah, those of you who've watched my TNA DVD collection video, the updated one, will have seen me mention this one and how I only bought it because it was cheap. Well, the night I'd filmed that video, I was sort of struggling for something to watch. I couldn't really sleep, so I thought I'll put something on that if I fall asleep I'm not that bothered, but I need something to watch, so I stuck this on and I actually quite enjoyed it. It's a 2-disc one. Disc 1 basically goes through the beginning of Immortal up to the road to 10-10-10, and then disc 2 covers the EV2 invasion and then goes up to Jeff Hardy versus Sting. No, not that Jeff Hardy versus Sting, for those of you who know, their first match. So I'm going to give like a little bit of a review. I'm not going to go too much into detail of it because the way it's done, it's like it's filmed like a documentary, but everything seems to sort of be in character or in kayfabe. You know, like the people are, like Hogan is talking like as he is in Immortal. So Flair and Bischoff, you know, they're all bigging up Immortal, and the wrestlers who are featured on it are all talking like in character. At the time, you get like AJ Styles at first talking about how he was against him, and then, you know, how Fortune ended up joining him, and then how they ended up leaving to, you know, go off and do their thing and everything again. So yeah, everybody's sort of in character the whole way through, and so it starts off with the whole inception of Immortal and how Hogan was brought in to help Dixie Carter, and then he brings in Eric Bischoff, and then Flair comes in, and then he starts Fortune, and then they join up with Immortal and everything like that, and now Immortal basically, and it's just this massive super group that just runs TNA and trying to get all the titles and everything. And then, like I say, you know, Fortune leave Immortal and start fighting with them again, against them again, should I say, with them against them, feuding with them. That's probably be the best way to do it. But yeah, at all stages through it, it shows you that everybody's in character at the points they're interviewed or they're featured on the DVD. And like I said, I really found myself enjoying it. I remember watching it once years ago, and I was just like, yeah, I've watched it. But that night, and I watched it, I really sort of enjoyed it. And it goes, so it's like the originals of TNA, and then how Hogan brings in people, and then it goes to like Jeff Hardy joining Immortal when he wins the world title, and debuting the Immortal belt and all that sort of stuff, and how he was champion and they were trying to get the X Division titles and, you know, tag titles and everything, and get everything, all the belts, like I said, within Immortal. But it's done really well. Like I say, it's done in the style of a documentary, but it shows you like clips from backstage and interview segments, in ring promos, you know, backstage promos. It has clips of matches, you know, highlights of matches and stuff. And then it goes up to how, you know, Sting came back after telling Dixie Carter that Hogan and Bischoff were just, you know, the worst thing that could possibly happen to TNA. Now she wouldn't believe him. Then how they went to getting the company from underneath her, you know, becoming owners of TNA, as it were. And then how Sting came back. It doesn't quite go up to like the Joker Sting phase, because that came, I think it was just after this DVD that sort of stops, because while went up to the point of this DVD ending, Immortal was still a storyline thing. So but it doesn't show up to there. It goes into about 2000, early 2010, like late 2010, and then he mentions at end Hogan when he's been interviewed about 2011 will be here before we know it, and that'll be another year that Immortal runs wild and blah 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 blah. The one thing that I did get from this, and it's probably just me because anybody who's been watching my channel for a while knows how I feel about Hogan. Never liked him as a kid when I started watching WWF. I was more of a Warrior fan. I liked Hogan in the original incarnation of the NWO. I thought it was interesting, how he turned heel and basically just was everything that he hadn't been. Then obviously that died out, and then he went back to WWF and they did the NWO bit for a bit, and then they did the back to the red and yellow, and then I just started disliking him again. Then when he went to TNA and I found out that he was there, I was like, that is going to be like a death knell for that company, because everywhere that him and Bischoff go, things turn to shit. And sure enough, TNA did actually turn to shit. The minute they got rid of the 6-sided ring and they went for the 4-sided, a lot of the wrestlers, especially AJ Styles, is like, that's what it says on this. That's what we were known for. That was our thing. That's what made us stand out from everybody else. You get rid of that, give us a 4-sided ring, and we're just another wrestling company. Which is what a lot of the fans thought at the time as well, legitimately. Yeah, but my point was going to be that in this, it seems like Hogan's playing this arsehole character who's, all about ego, it's all about him. But yet it's ironic that, to me, that is Hulk Hogan. He is, everything revolves around him, it's got to be about him. And, he couldn't have just run TNA from backstage. He had to be out in the spotlight all the time, and then he had to get involved in a massive storyline, and he had to be the main thing, and it was all about him. And, to me, it like I say, it just epitomised Hulk Hogan himself. It was just him being him on camera, but playing a heel, when, that is, like I said, the epitome of Hulk Hogan, in my opinion. That he is just an attention-seeking, spotlight-grabbing, hard who will do anything to be in the spotlight and relevant. That aside, like I said, it is a really, really good documentary. The bits with Flair, it doesn't have the Flair and Jay Lethal Flair off. I think that came later, or that's just not featured on here, because I think that's when Flair started Fortune, but it doesn't show that that I know of, unless it's in some special features or something. But yeah, that's not on it, which is a shame. But yeah, it's all sort of about the build-up of Immortal, how it came about, how they took over, and how Abyss was central to everything going through, and then how he turned on Hogan, and then it all turned out to be a big double swerve and all that sort of stuff, and the members of Immortal that were there, and like I said, they joined up with Fortune, but then Fortune decided that they weren't going to sit back and let all these guys just come in and take over their company, so they went back to feuding with Immortal. And then it shows you, like I said, Sting and Kevin Nash are sat backstage. Bischoff calls him out and says, it's going to be easy money. They both walk off, and then Bischoff's like, it's not like you, Nash, to walk away from guaranteed easy big money and all this sort of stuff. I was more impressed by how Nash managed to walk down, climb into the ring, climb back out without injuring himself or doing any sort of damage. But yeah, it's a pretty good, like I said, it's a good watch. Anybody who's a fan of TNA probably has this in their DVD collection already. Anybody who's a Hulk Hogan fan probably will have started watching TNA purely because Hogan was there. If that's the case, go back and check out earlier TNA. It is miles better than this, although there are some good matches in this. And it did this DVD did give me the sort of boost to start watching my TNA DVDs all over again, so there will be reviews coming up for some more of those, so keep your eyes peeled for those. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can think to say on this. It's hard to review because of the style it's done in. It's not like match after match after match. It's like a documentary style, like I've said. So it is hard to sort of sit here and say, oh, you know, there's this and this and this and this, but it is a good watch. It is thoroughly entertaining. If anybody who's a fan of TNA and hasn't got it, but remembers the storyline, it is well worth picking up and well worth watching. So I only got it because it was cheap off eBay, but looking back, it's probably one of the, you know, also one of the best purchases I've ever made, far from, but it was a good purchase. I think the first time I watched it, I was just so involved in just being anti-Hogan and, you know, just despising him that I didn't really see it for what it was. But having rewatched it, you know, with a sort of not so much blinkered approach on it, I really did enjoy it for what it was. So yeah, if I had to give it a star rating out of 5, probably 3 out of 5. I know that sounds a low score, but it's not a bad DVD by any means. It like I say, it is enjoyable to watch, and the way that it's done is really good. So yeah, I'd give it a solid 3 out of 5. That's just my opinion. There'll probably be reviews of it out there where people will give it more, but I think it deserves a solid 3, maybe a 3.5. But yeah. That'll do it for this video, guys. It's just a quick one I wanted to do. I just rewatched this, so I wanted to just like throw a review out there while it was still pretty fresh in my mind. Like I said, keep your eyes peeled because I have watched some of my older TNA DVDs, the sort of best of ones. So there will be reviews coming of those. So if you're a TNA fan, an old school TNA fan, keep your eyes peeled for those. But that'll do it for this video, guys. As always, thank you for watching. To those of you who have subscribed, thank you for taking the time. For those of you who haven't, who've been watching my channel for a while, please hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 200. It's a personal milestone, and I'd love to get there. So yeah, if you could help me out with that, I'd be much appreciated. That's going to wrap up this video, guys. As always, look after yourselves, take care, and I'll see you in my next video. Until then, bye for now.